So this question is going to ask us, we need to go through expanding these questions. So we'll expand and simplify the following, okay? We'll start with the very first question here. You have quite a few different terms if you think of it, okay? So we'll actually draw this on another page so it's a little simpler to work with. We have negative 2, x minus 4, and then x plus 4 squared minus 9. Okay, so we want to expand and simplify this question here. Okay, so we have x plus 4 squared. We could quickly find the answer to this. If you recall, there's a concept in binomial expansion where you take the power of this and you apply it to kind of a formula here. So we'll kind of show the first step. Let's say it was a plus b, okay, to the power of 2. If you do something like that, you end up with a plus b. So we're going to do a little discovery here, times a plus b. A times a gives you a squared. Your a times b gives you ab plus ab plus b squared. And this simplifies to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, okay? So what we have here is, this is the original n value, okay? You have the original n value here, so in other words, the 2. So we could say, when we're using not specific values, that you get a to the n plus 2, and then what ends up happening here is you would normally say a minus 1 to the n, b n minus 1, and then plus b to the n, okay? So using that formula, without having to go through all of these steps, we can think of this in terms of this power here. We're just going to focus on it. I'll put it in red when we focus on it. And what we're going to do here is a is the x term, so we're going to say this is just going to be x squared plus 2. It's going to be x again is our first term, so we have x, and 2 minus 1 is just the power of 1. Our b term happens to be 4, so it's going to be 4 to the power of 1. And then finally, plus 4 squared. Okay, so what we did in this case is we just used binomial expansion just to simplify this part here. Now this isn't quite simplified. This middle term has a little more work to it, but we could use that as binomials expand and we get larger values for them. So we'll go negative 2, x minus 4, okay? And here we have x squared. We're going to simplify this. This should have been 4 times 2, which is going to give us 8x plus 16. All right. We still have our minus 9. I'm kind of drawing on that number there. What we next have to do is we have to use some distributive property. It'll actually be a little easier here. I mean, actually, it doesn't make a difference. Let's just focus on these 2 sets of brackets. This one's a little trickier. We're going to take the x value, and we actually have to multiply it by every single term in the right bracket, and then we have to do the same with the negative 4 value, okay? We'll leave the negative 2 on the outside. It'll still be in a set of brackets, and it'll still be subtract 9 after everything. But we'll start in red here. X times x squared is actually going to give us x cubed. X times 8x will give us positive 8x squared. And x times 16 will give us positive 16x. And then we move to the negative 4. Negative 4 times x squared is negative 4x squared. Negative 4 times 8 is negative 32x. Negative 4 times 16 is going to give us negative 64, I believe. Okay, so negative 64. The next thing we want to do is look for like terms in here. This is the only cubed value. I do have a squared value and a squared value that I can simplify. X to the power of 1, x to the power of 1, and then this is a constant term, so that'll stay by itself. We'll go negative 2, x cubed. We're going to add 8x squared minus 4x squared, so that will actually leave us with 4x squared. So those two have been taken care of. 16x minus 32x will give us negative 16x. So these two have been taken care of. And then the very last term is 64. Finally, we got to distribute the 2 to every term in this bracket. There are 4 terms here. When we do that, we'll get negative, I'll write it in green because there won't be much else we'll have to change once we do it, negative 2x cubed minus 8x squared plus 32x plus 128. And then we just have to subtract this final 9 value. Well, the only like term with 9 is positive 128, so we'll do the subtraction there. We'll end up with the term negative 2x cubed minus 8x squared plus 32x, and this will become 19, positive 119. Yeah, and there we go. We have our final term. So quite a bit of work to that little question.